Hi Srividya. Hello everyone, thanks for joining today's Q&A. So today is just a fun day. Today is just answering your questions. Today is a 1 hour live of me just answering your questions. Hi Ambuj, hi Vanshika. Hello. Hi Manav, hello. Hi Praveen. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining the live on a Sunday. So today is a Q&A. Today is just me answering all your questions about freelancing, content writing, and all of the things related to that. Okay, so hi Suraj, hi Sumit, hi. Let's begin. So today is 1 hour of questions. Um, 1 hour is a lot. It's been a while since I have done a 1 hour Q&A. It's been a while since I have actually done purely a Q&A. So yeah, today is all about that. Today is all about Q&A. So, okay. So any questions, you can start asking them in the comment tab, or you can ask them in the comment section as well, whatever you prefer. So yeah, let's start. So Vanshika has asked a question: how to deal with rejections and failure? Okay, we are really hitting into the hard stuff, right? As soon as we begin. Vanshika, it's a good question. I think that, rejection is basically a part of life, and my idea is that whatever happens, try to get as many rejections as possible, because the more rejections you're getting, it means you're trying harder. It means you're actually approaching more people, because getting one rejection means you approach probably one person, but if you're getting more rejections, you've probably approached a large number of people, and you've actually put in work to try to get things to work. And yeah, rejections are pretty common. I mean, rejections happen. Rejections are also what make you improve on your ideas. Rejections honestly are also make something that make you let go of things that you think are good but actually may not be that good, may not actually be worth chasing. So I think, yeah, letting go of rejections is fine in that sense. And how I deal with failure, it's just something that, again, it's just something that I prefer to kind of dwell in for a minute. I kind of think about it. I think about how I feel, and I don't like it and all of those things, but I decide that I have to still keep going, because I still want to do other things. I still want to go for bigger things, and so I keep working on it. That's how I go for it. Okay. Hello. How to improve sense of humor? Manav is saying. I think it comes with time. Honestly, sense of humor is a very tricky thing, because it's all about saying it at the right time, at the right point, and realizing how the other person feels, understanding how the other person feels, putting yourself in their position, and not trying to get humor into the wrong thing. So it comes with time, but most importantly, to improve your sense of humor, judge the situation very well. There are some topics, there are certain things that you should not be, that are just not funny, that in no context can be funny. So you always try to avoid those ones. How to get clear about your niche? For your niche, I definitely recommend really trying a lot of different things, because once you try a lot of different a lot of different topics, a lot of different niches, that's when you kind of figure out that, oh, I like this one the best, or oh, I do not really like this one. So as much as possible, kind of experiment, and then find out what niche you like best. Okay, what else do we have? Where to find content ideas? Jamanpreet. Jamanpreet, in terms of content ideas, I always like to look at my everyday life. So just kind of think of the things you're doing every single day. Think of the things around you, things that are happening to you. What can you learn from them? You can consider, if you're a freelancer, you can consider your freelancing experiences, client experiences, all of those kind of things, and put them all together, and try to create content from that. Most of this is what I have done for my LinkedIn posts. I now do it even for my reels. I do it for my Instagram stories. So just try to kind of mix things up, and as much as possible, pick from every single pick from your life, your real life. Manav, please be patient to get your answers. Just asking them in big caps is not going to make it easier. Call Marijay. Okay, I'm not really sure what your name is. I'm a newbie. How to write actually. There is, you can check one of my latest posts where I've given tips on how to improve writing. But if you're a newbie, you should still have some experience or some idea or some interest in writing, which will help you kind of really improve. So think about writing. Think about what kind of writing you like. Write more. Write every single day. Keep improving. Keep working on it. And most important thing, put your content out there. I know a lot of people who write a lot, which is great, but putting your content out there is equally important so that other people can see it and other people can recognize and understand. How you write and whether they want you to write for them. So don't just create content, but also put content out there. Where and how to get voiceover gigs? I'm not sure, Jamanpreet, since I have not given that a shot. Neha is asking, for a beginner who doesn't have much knowledge of the industry or field, what should we post on LinkedIn? You can post absolutely anything on LinkedIn. It doesn't have to be about your field. So when I started out, as I said, I used to post about things that I learned every single day. Things I learned, like, some experiences I've had while waiting for the bus, while being in the bus, something in college, something while cooking, something while, reading, some things like that. Everyday experiences, I pick those up and then I create content out of those. So you could actually check out my ebook, #anthology. The link is in the bio for purchasing it. In the ebook, I have a lot of LinkedIn posts. It's a collection of LinkedIn posts that I've written over the past 2 years. And in that, some of my posts are actually something that I'd written when I was just beginning. So you can see the range of topics I have covered and the way I've written, considering all these different incidents of my life, just picking things up from my life and creating content out of it. So you can check out that ebook. I'm sure it will help you. And in the ebook, there are also over 50 topics that you can create LinkedIn posts from. So in the end of the ebook, you have that. So check that out. And if you do not have topic ideas, you can always pick something from there. So I hope that will help you. Note, you have such weird names, everyone. Nothai Vijay. Okay. Hey, so I have started copywriting as a hobby, currently going through YouTube videos to learn. Will I need more professional courses at some point? You don't need professional courses as long as you're getting clients, as long as people are paying you. I think you should be good, because then you know that you're doing good work. Okay, so you don't have to think too much about courses, because freelancing is never about courses. It's just about how good you can do your job. That's it. Right. How to develop the quality of storytelling? Digital Devansh. Devansh, storytelling, one of the most important things in storytelling is to be very authentic with the stories you're telling. Even if it's fictional, even if it's made up, it has to be convincingly made up. It has to have a logical flow of events and a flow of words, and it should make a lot of sense. And it should just it should have a proper flow. That's very important. So to improve the quality of your storytelling, make sure you edit it very well so that you build that cohesion and you build that flow in your entire content. Can I build my personal brand along with learning stage? Yes, of course, Akash. I even put out a reel about this, that your personal brand is only about putting out content you love to create. So just keep putting out content and the personal brand will come with time. How can I start content writing? Like, should I do some internship first or anything? Payal, an internship is always helpful. I myself started with an internship. The only thing is I didn't know that I wanted to start content writing. I didn't take up an internship to get into content writing, but rather I did an internship. I realized that, okay, this is something fun. I like doing it. And then I took up, then I got more into content writing. But yes, internships are definitely a good way to learn, and it's a good idea. How to use different languages in blog writing and articles, and how to develop a right manner of writing with these techniques. I'm not sure if you, by languages, you mean like literal languages. Like, do you mean like, English, Hindi, French, German? Is that what you mean by languages? Because I wouldn't recommend using different languages in the same article. I don't see how that would be useful. How to deal with creative block, Jamanpreet. A good way is that whenever you're having the good days, when you have a lot of topic ideas, what you can do is you can just list down all of those topics and have them ready for whenever you may not have a lot of ideas. So that's one way to deal with creative block. Another thing is to give yourself a break. So, just maybe go to sleep or go outside, take a walk. Be careful if you're going outside. Cook your favorite food, have some, like, eat well, watch something. Just take a break for some time and then get back to your work later. Suggest some books for content writing and copywriting. Okay, some book recommendations for copywriting is Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. That is cash, like money, cashvertising, like cash and advertising. So Cashvertising. That's Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. And for content writing, there's a book called On Writing. So that's ON space WRITING. On Writing by Stephen King. I really like that one for editing your content. And overall, I would definitely also recommend my ebook, #Anthology. The link is in the bio for purchasing it. And it has a lot of tips and tricks about, like, freelancing, writing, social media, especially LinkedIn, about mindset, about, how to, how to learn from your everyday life, I guess. And also more than 50 topics for posts. Is it okay to post image posts of quotes on Instagram? Smiley packet. It's fine, but it doesn't really add value, Like, the quotes are available anywhere, quotes are available everywhere, everybody posts quotes. So what makes your page different? So you have to think about being unique, and your page will only be followed if you are providing something that cannot be found anywhere else. So in terms that, like, when I think of my page, I do a lot of IGTV lives, I do a lot of Q&As, I do a lot of very specific content that helps freelancers grow. And that's what people follow me for, because they find that some of this content is unique and they cannot find it anywhere else. So that's the idea, that you have to create content that kind of really resonates with what you do and is something that cannot be found anywhere else. Vishwas is asking what's up. I think you can see what's up. I just finished class 12. There are so many options out there. Where to start? Your experiences after class 12. Cliff for NAMS. Okay, NAMS. My class 12 experience was that I had taken up science in class 12 because I wanted to go in for NEET, for medicine. And before my 12th board exams, I decided that I wanted to do English instead. I want to go in for literature. So I changed my course basically, and I started applying for colleges abroad, and then I did some internships, got some more interest in content writing, and then I moved abroad for English literature and philosophy. So I would say that, I know that I have been told for a long time, like, hey, in 10th, whatever decision you make in 10th is the final one, you have to stick to it. Whatever decision you make in 12th is the final one, you have to stick to it. But it's not that way. A lot of our things that we really want to do has to do with experience and exposure and figuring out what we love best and what we really want to do. And I think we can all agree that, in say class 10, class 12, when we are like 15, 17, it's quite young for us to even figure out what we love and what we want to do for the rest of our life. So I think what I would say is that where to start is a very broad thing, but just start with whatever you love to do and keep doing it, keep working on it, see what else you love, how can you, expand on it, how can you can you get paid for it, can you get more visibility for it, can it help you grow in other fields. Consider all those things and stick with one of those things that you love. Okay, is Pinterest good in driving traffic to the blog? Yes, I have read a lot about Pinterest. I haven't given it a shot myself yet, but Pinterest has, I think it also works pretty good. What do you think about online copywriting or writing courses? Is it really helpful? I think that any course is only as helpful as you want it to be. So I know that a lot of courses, it's not about the course itself, it's not about the material in the course, it's about whether you are actually getting up and using that material, whether you're getting up and taking action for what you're learning in the course. So taking action is a very, very important step when it comes to any course, and you should definitely start working on whatever you're learning. Another thing is the course credibility is very important. So if I were to buy a course, I would buy it from somebody I trust, probably somebody I have been seeing for a while, somebody I've been following for a while, somebody I know that okay, this person has definitely been super helpful, and I like this person's content, and now I am willing to invest in this person whether or not the results come. So it's not just about the course, it's about the credibility and the value that person has, that individual has, and how much trust I have in that person, and that's what's going to make me invest in their course. So I think that if you follow somebody and if you like their content, and if they have released a course or anything that you think that, hey, okay, this is definitely, I've been following this person's content and I think this is also going to be good, then you should probably give it a shot, because you follow them for a reason. That said, I'm going to hint at my ebook #anthology. The link is in the bio. How much of content is enough content? Jamanpreet, I'm just thinking how much of live and how much of questions is enough lives and questions. Book recommendations for understanding copy. Tanya, for copy, I would recommend Cashvertising. Again, CASHVERTISING. Hey Shreya, hope you're well. I just love your content, really inspiring and helpful. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Copious Affluent. How can I learn content writing and copywriting from basic to advanced level? By taking baby steps. I have recommended 2 books, Cashvertising, On Writing. I've also recommended my ebook if you would like to check it out. Invest in those books, invest in learning from them, invest in actually acting upon them. You do not need 10,000 books to learn. Just pick 1 or 2 good books. I have recommended what worked for me, and what I have, based on these recommendations, other people have actually bought them and it has worked for them as well. So don't look in to chase a lot of books. Pick a few and then put in a lot of work. So just write a lot and create a lot of content, because that's what's going to truly help you go from basic to advanced level. Where do you get copywriting jobs? Megha, mine are usually inbound leads from LinkedIn. I have an entire IGTV live about how you can get leads from LinkedIn, so you can check that out to probably get leads for yourself as well. Okay, this was a lot of questions. I didn't expect so many, I guess. I'm speaking quite fast. I want to try to answer as many questions as possible. Hi, how can we improve speech? That I know to speak in English and Hindi, but when there are so many people at the time, debate, everything blanks. Abhi, okay, in terms of, I would say that people at the time, there are so many people at the time of debate, everything blanks. I think one of the things is to kind of not focus on other people. I think this, more than speech, it has to do with just the confidence and the comfort of being around and speaking in front of people. So you could start with the baby steps. You could start with being more vocal in front of, just having your family sit down and then talk in front of them. Maybe get your friends on a video call, tell them you want to practice a speech maybe. So just get them on a video call and then sit and talk for a few minutes. Make sure that these friends are actually somebody who would listen, somebody who would pay attention, who would give you inputs. Even if you don't have such kind of friends, even if they mock you around, you have to still keep your composure, and you still have to, stick to what you are doing, which is giving your speech. So that's actually also a good way to learn. So I hope that, that will just give you more comfort about speaking in front of other people. Can we work as a freelance content writer anytime? Yes, irrespective of any profession, Prajita, you can work as a freelance content writer. But I would say, when you say any time, I would say that you can start anytime, but don't do it like, okay, I'll do it for 2 months and then I'll stop, and I'll do it for 3 months and I'll stop. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't go good that way, because freelancing is very unpredictable. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to build that credibility, to build that, unique position where people want to work with you. And most importantly, if you're working with someone and then you just suddenly stop working in 2-3 months, it's going to be odd, and it's not very accountable of you, is it? So you can start anytime, but only start if you're willing to commit to it long term. Neha, what to post on LinkedIn when you don't have much industry knowledge? I already answered your question that about posting on LinkedIn, you can post about your everyday experiences. If you do not still like, if you still cannot think of ideas, I would recommend you check out my ebook. The link is in the bio. It's called #anthology. And in the end of the ebook, there are over 50 topics to write LinkedIn posts on. So you can just pick one up and you can start writing on those. Hi, how are you? Can you know how much to charge as an intermediate writer? Is 50 paisa per word too high? How to find client on LinkedIn? Cool Star UK. Okay, so first thing is 50 paisa. Okay, let me just say one thing first, that PPW means, I think it means either price per word or pay per word. It does not mean paisa per word. PPW is a universal term. So when you say 50, you have to write 50p, 50 paisa, and then write PPW. It's just a common error. I hope this just helps. But yeah, 50 paisa, I don't think it's high. I in fact always recommend that you charge minimum 1 rupee per word, depending of course on your expertise. But minimum 1 rupee per word should definitely justify your effort as well. You should be a good writer. You should know how to write, how to freelance, how to communicate with clients. You should be aware of the basics at least, and make that 1 rupee per word also worth of being paid. And for more details on how to price, you can check out my IGTV, which is all about pricing. How to find client on LinkedIn. I also have a long IGTV about that, on how to find clients on LinkedIn. But I guess the best way that has worked for me, and actually has ended up working for a lot of writers, has been to just create content and let people come to you. So you create a lot of good content, a lot of content that shows your writing skills, and then let that organic lead and the organic inbound leads just approach you and work with you. Do you have a sample for a contract? What are the things that should be included for sure in a contract? Okay, Krish, I do not have a sample for a contract, but I do have a complete IGTV about contracts, what to include in them, how to write them, how to send them. Everything is there. You can check that out. I'll still give you a summary of what's supposed to be included in the contract. Your name, of course, your name, your client's name, your address, your client's address, the scope of work, the fees, your availability, the platforms you're available on. Are you okay with WhatsApp and email or Facebook Messenger? What do you use? All of those things. Your working terms, your payment terms, your delivery terms, like what are the final deliverables that the person gets while working with you, and finally like the signature and dates. So this is something that I can think of, and you can find further details in my complete IGTV. How can I be fluent in English like you? Smiley PKT. Okay, this fluency has come with time, and has come with experience, and has come with, of course, a lot of speaking. So I would recommend that you speak a lot every single day, and that fluency is something that comes from practice. What do you do when you're short of ideas or short of observations? Abhi, that's a good question. When you say short of observations, I tend to take a break. I just give it a while, because I realize that, stressing about it doesn't make new observations come in. But when I just stop, and when I pause, and when I sit back from everything, I get to see like a wider view, and I get to think about not only the present but past. I get to think about everything that's happened so far, everything I'm planning to do ahead. And then something or the other clicks like, hey, that's a good content idea. And I sit and write that down. So pausing is super helpful. What are you drinking? I'm drinking water, because this is a long live and I'm talking very quickly. So water. Okay. How to build copywriting portfolio? Like, it's okay if I've never worked with Cadbury and I write copy for Cadbury in portfolio. So is it okay? Hi Miloni. Yes, it's fine. This is okay for a beginner portfolio, where you're just writing copy. You're just writing copy to just give an idea to your client about your skills. But as in how you keep working with new clients, use proper work that you've done for other people. Okay, let's see what else. I have this habit of starting every sentence with the same word. How to avoid it? Amusing. Um, yeah, a lot of people do this. Like, you start every sentence with either like, or like, see what I did there, or like, saying things like and then, we keep repeating certain words. That happens. But if you see this as a habit, then the only way to get rid of it is to be very conscious about it. So I think in the middle, I got a very bad habit of saying maybe or can we. So every time I had to give feedback to my team, I would say, can we change the color, or maybe we should change the color. And this was not assertive. This was, I mean, I wanted them to do it, but I started saying maybe, I don't know, to be kind or something, but that's not a good habit. So now I'm consciously working on not using the word maybe and not using the word can we while saying something that I definitely want to get changed or want to get done. So you have to be conscious about it, and then with time it'll just, go away as a habit. Okay. How to make a client believe in a newbie freelance writer? I think your goal shouldn't be to make your client believe. It's a very tricky task, and as much as you would want to say, I can definitely get you results and I guarantee this, I guarantee that, it's a very tricky business to be in, because things don't always work out the way you want them to. So if they don't believe you, especially as a new writer, you do not want to be in the position where you suffer in the sense that, you think you would have been able to do something, but you were not able to do it for whatever reasons. You don't want to be in any you don't want to be in a situation where you end up getting a bad review or a bad testimonial. You don't want to be in a situation where the client just turns up and is like, oh, I told you so. So you don't want to be in certain situations, especially as a newbie writer, because you're just starting out and you need you need to build confidence, and you need things that build confidence rather than break them down and make you doubt yourself. So I would recommend that you avoid such people. I understand that it's money, I understand that it's a job. If you want to take it up, but then thinking of it from a long term point of view, and for your own sanity, your own confidence, I would have avoided such people. If I mean, I don't want to be justifying anything. Sayana, if you're confused about what to post on LinkedIn that can gain engagement, um, please check out my LinkedIn post, see what I write about, see how I write. Um, Check those things out. Check out my ebook, #anthology. The link is in the bio. As mentioned, the ebook has over 50 topics that you can write on, so you can go ahead with that. Another important thing is that don't chase the engagement. Engagement is very uncertain. Instead of engagement, look for set personal metrics. For me, my metric is not engagement. My metric is getting leads, getting good qualified leads from each post. And if I can do that, then I'm fine. Whether my post gets 100 likes, 1,000 likes, or 10,000 likes. So chase the metrics that matter to you and that actually make a real life difference to you. Hi Shreya, which copywriting exercises do you suggest to build up skills? Takshi, I recommend picking up things like picking up ads in newspapers, social media posts, all of those things, and rewriting them in your own way. That really engages you, and make sure that while you're doing this, also kind of think about the brand perspective. Think about what does the brand stand for, because I recently had someone who did a really good job actually, who used this method that I recommended and wrote taglines for Netflix. That was a good thing. It was good to work on it. The main thing was that in his taglines he had mentioned about, oh, you've done your work, so now welcome to Netflix. Whereas Netflix ideologies are very different. Netflix stands more on the side of binge watching, more on the side of just spend time on our platform no matter what. Netflix is something, even if it's not their ideology, Netflix is something that distracts you normally from getting things done. So you have to kind of keep those things in mind, and that's when you will actually be able to maximize this copywriting exercise and create good content from it, good copy from it. Okay, lots of talking. Scared Gemini, how do I build my writing portfolio? I have a tap link, so it's a link where, if people click on it, then there's different sections for like web copy, my website, things like that. And then they click on it, and then there are subsections. So you can try something like that, like tap link or Linktree, and those are just good ways. Otherwise, documents, Google Drive, presentations, all of this also fine. Okay. What has been your most interesting project till now? This is a good one, and it gives me time to pause and stop talking for a second so that I can think about it while at work. My most interesting project. Oh, I think this was last week. I didn't get time to wait also. Okay. I think this was last week because I wrote an ebook for one of my clients. A very interesting ebook, because especially because I was very happy with the way it came out. And it was something that I had in mind. I knew exactly what I wanted to write, but I was pretty nervous about it because the topic was technical, and I'm not really, I hadn't written much about it, let alone an ebook. But then I managed to complete it, and it turned out really well. I don't know, it just kind of pieced itself together, and it was a very interesting project for me, and I really enjoyed writing it. So I'm excited. Like, once it comes out, I am sure I will share it with all of you to read. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay. If you haven't got many connections on LinkedIn, then how will people discover your content? Harsh. Especially on LinkedIn, it's not about the connections, because the organic reach is good. And on LinkedIn, it's always about content quality more than anything else. So as long as you have good content, you do not have to at all be worried about your, getting your content discovered. But there are still some steps you can take. Like, if you have a new account, then you engage with other people, you message other people, you comment on other people's posts, because that's how you will get discovered too. Just make sure you have sensible, useful, valuable comments and valuable information, which actually makes people want to click your profile and see what you write about as well. Okay. 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 I'm checking more questions. Why are there so many questions? There's so many. I mean, I did not expect them. I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Wow. Okay. I'm still scrolling. I still haven't reached the last question I answered. Okay, now I am. Okay. Does content around LinkedIn need one niche? No, it can be about anything. Hello Shreya, hope you're doing well. I've sent you a DM, please reply. I will check it out. Please make sure that if you're DMing me, please try to ask complete questions. If you just say hello, I need your help, I'm not going to respond, because I have many such messages, and if you do not tell me what you need help with, I don't even know if I can help you with it. So please, when you're asking me for help, mention exactly what you need help with, so that I can get back to you quickly, and so that I can directly give you the answer. How can we get over the fear of putting ourselves out there? See, most things have to do with actually just ending up doing them anyways. So I think the best question about putting yourself out there is, what do you have to lose? I mean, if you put yourself out there, the main thing is that you may be a bit nervous and afraid, but you don't have anything to lose. You just have things to gain, or just either things will be that way or you will gain something. So just do it anyways. What is the procedure for having you to interview on my channel? Jamanpreet, you can message me, but in the past few days and in the next few days, it's going to be very difficult because I'm resuming college. My schedule is completely changing, and I'm booked for interviews already for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So message me, I will get back to you. Please be patient for a response. Please share some SEO tips. I'm not really into SEO. I just use whatever the client gives me. So I do not really have a lot of tips for that. In the starting, what did you do to be a successful freelancer? I just I just went with, I just wait. People came to me, I spoke to them. If they seemed right, I worked with them. If I made any mistakes, I learned from it. If there were any issues with certain clients, again, I learned from it. And yeah, that's what I did. I just kind of took things as they came. If a client asks you to work on a regular basis at a fixed rate, should we accept that? The rate is low, but I'm starting out, so should I take it for experience? Completely depends on you. I'm not the right person to advise here because it depends on a lot of factors. Who the client is, what kind of work it is, what kind of exposure do you get. It does matter, exposure does matter. And if you're getting paid for getting exposure and getting experience, then that's good. It's also how long term is it? Is it for like 3 months, 6 months? Then it's a good thing probably. And also your financial situation. If you really need the money, then you should take it up. And it also gives you an experience of working with a client, so you can actually go ahead with it. Please define fundamental of startup. Amar, I haven't ever done a startup, but I'm just going to tell you that the fundamental of a startup is to solve a real problem that you care about. Very important. Like, you should really care about the problem you're solving. There should be a large market for the problem you're solving, and give a solution that people really need. So I think that would be the very basic step. How to find internship which is suitable for me? See, internships are always very dicey because internships usually don't have a fixed scope of work. Even if they do, there are other things that come into them. So I wouldn't recommend that, for an internship you have a fixed job role. Just you just apply, you get the internship, and then you figure out whether it's something you want to do or not. How to build a portfolio that caters to all clients? You can just add all of your work, or at least for web copy, articles, social media, add 2 to 3 examples for each. How to get internship on content writing? Hassan, I would recommend that you approach people, probably founders, marketing heads, content writing heads, and tell them that you're interested in internships, who can kind of guide you and tell you their procedure for getting internships in their company. I'm always trying to get over the bored and failure, but isn't always winning as I'm not patient. What do you think would have been an ideal time for a breakthrough? Sony, I'm not really sure I understand your question. But as you're saying, if you're already saying that whatever is happening is because you're not patient, so you've already identified the issue. So work on it. Work on being patient. Don't define yourself as somebody who's impatient, because then it will be very difficult to get rid of it. So just realize that you've understood what is stopping you. It's your lack of patience, and work on building that. Can I start writing blogs without money? Yeah, sure. I recommend #anthology. Thank you so much. Is it okay to publish samples on the website which has not domain on my name? Publish samples. Do not use your client's content anywhere else. If you use it for your portfolio, it's fine. But if you're publishing it somewhere on your website, it may be okay. Just get a confirmation from the client. But if you are publishing it in other places as a portfolio, as a sample, do not do that. If you have written for a client, it is their property now. You do not have rights over it, and you cannot publish the content. Otherwise, it is plagiarism. So do not do that. How can I learn about freelancing from basic to advanced? I think all your questions are about basic to advanced. I think you should just start. Experience is very, very important. So start doing something, and then it'll just be a matter of time when you go from basic to advanced. Abhi is asking how to write on subjects which is not niche, and how much it is beneficial for learning, and experiencing new niche of writing. Like I want to write non-fiction, but what if I write comedy also? The only answer I will give to this is that I have written for over 50 niches in the past 2 years. 50, 50, that's 50 or 50, whatever, I don't know, 50 niches. And I think that should just help you out. Ma'am, Nadeem is saying that I'm here after seeing Khaliullah's story. Yeah, I'm so thankful that he put out the story because I got so many messages from so many new people. And it's just very interesting to have, like, I don't even know him, but he put out a story and that was really nice of him. So I'm really thankful for that. And I received a lot of messages from new people saying they want to join the live, that they like the content. So I'm really happy that he posted about it. How to stay consistent? Discipline, routine, very helpful. So wake up in the morning and do the same thing at the same time every single day. As much as possible, try to create a routine, because then you can make a habit out of it and it just makes things so much easier. How did you get your initial clients? They were inbound leads from LinkedIn. So one of my first post on LinkedIn actually had gone viral, which got me a lot of prospects, and I closed my 4 clients after that. And then I realized that LinkedIn is a very good platform and I can actually get inbound leads from this. And so I kept using LinkedIn, and now that's my main place for clients. How to charge as a beginner, Neha? Neha, again for this, I would highly recommend watching my IGTV, because it has been very useful for a lot of new freelancers. So just scroll like way down on my IGTV and you will find something about pricing your services as a freelancer. I'll still give you a few tips. First is that you should charge at least worth ₹1 per word if you can justify the cost, which means you should have the basic knowledge about content writing, about dealing with clients, about sending invoices, making things as seamless as possible. You should have that idea. You should not bother your clients basically. And I also recommend that you go in for value-based pricing. So if you're writing for like a landing page, then you know that this is meant for conversions. You know that this is something that's going to help the client make even more money. It has a lot of value, so you can charge more than your normal rate. So you have to consider the value also that the client gets, and not only like the number of words or the kind of number of hours you'll put in. Vishwas is saying your authenticity and humbleness is one of the most important factors. I've been following you. I must say it's definitely worth it. Thank you very much. What topic should I pick for content writing? Pile anything you can think of, completely fine. How to have a good work-life balance? Setting a routine is one of the best ways, Jamanpreet. So just set your routine for your work, your college, your studies, your dinner, your cooking time, your cleaning time, your sleeping time, your waking up, your gym time. As much as possible, try to make your life as boring as possible. Just be on the same routine every single day, and that really helps you feel like, okay, everything is going smooth, everything is in its place, and everything's just happening naturally without you having to put too much effort into it. How can I provide valuable content for my blog? It is by creating something that cannot be found anywhere else. That's first thing. Second is by creating actionable content that people can get up and actually work on, actually use, actually get something from. And the third thing is to just start creating, because value is something that's not defined by you. Other people will tell you whether they find something valuable or not. Something that's valuable to you may not be valuable to someone else. So just start creating content, and based on the response you get, keep tweaking the topics, and of course based on what you want to write as well. Vanshika, how to stay consistent, because it's very difficult for me. Consistency, as I mentioned, is purely about routine. I was in the same position, like being consistent with anything, being consistent with getting things done on time, being consistent with going to the gym. Huge thing I could not really deal with. But now, as much as possible, I've tried to set a routine. So I make sure that I'm done with, going to the gym before I do any of these lives in the evening. I make sure that I'm done with all of my work before I do a live in the evening. I make sure that I keep my weekends off so that I have space for myself and I can work on things that I want to work on. So all of these things, as much as possible, create a routine, and that consistency thing will just honestly become a habit. And of course, one more very good thing about consistency is that it brings real rewards. So basically, consistency, if you want to be consistent, you have to kind of be aware of the returns you're getting. You have so many good incentives to be consistent. For example, being consistent with LinkedIn has allowed me to build an audience there of over 70,000. It has allowed me to build credibility and get clients every single month, every single day. With every single post, I can close 4 or 5 I can get 4 or 5 leads. That's because I was consistent. Now, because I'm consistent with going to the gym, I feel more relaxed. I'm okay, because earlier I used to stress that, oh my god, I didn't go to the gym today, I didn't go to the gym. But now, because I have a routine, I know that I will definitely go to the gym before I'm done with the day. So it really helps out. And of course, going to the gym means I feel better, I feel stronger, and I see the change in myself. So focus on the incentives. If you need that, then focus on the incentives and then work towards the rewards. That will help as well. Okay. I usually write for specific spaces like football and tech, but I really want to make that switch to writing, creative writing. I'm not sure how to get started. See, Vivek, the thing is, writing is writing. Today, it has been divided into content, copy, creative, fiction, non-fiction, whatever. But the truth is, writing is writing. So instead of thinking in your mind as a switch that you have to make, just start doing it. That's the easiest way to make whatever you call the switch. Jamanpreet is saying, oh god, I have so many questions, and that's so sweet of you that you're answering so many questions very sweetly. Thank you, Jamanpreet. I think you're one of the new people on the live, so welcome. And thanks for all your questions. What is your ebook all about? Okay, I have told this so many times, but my ebook has a collection of my LinkedIn posts. The posts in this ebook will basically help you learn how to write better, freelance better, have a good mindset, build an audience on LinkedIn, and also it has more than 50 topics to write LinkedIn posts on. So if you're so confused at what do I write a LinkedIn post on, then that is the ebook for you. So go and check it out. Link is in the bio. Drinking warm water can help when you speak a lot, Shreya. Sargi, I'm doing that. This is kind of warm. It's pretty cold here, so it doesn't stay warm for that long. Will you miss doing the regular lives? Because we definitely will. Yes, Megha, I will miss doing the regular lives, but I'm still going to work on something that really suits all of us the best. So I'm still thinking of how to do it. So don't worry, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop talking with you all. So I'm going to just change things up. Don't worry. Okay. Where to take the IELTS exam offline? Also, what do you prefer, online or offline? I have no idea about this. The IELTS is an organization. It's a system. I cannot tell you. You have to find out whether online or offline. I don't mind either. I gave an offline test, but I wouldn't mind either, I guess, because you have to adapt. If you cannot adapt, like see, you're giving an IELTS so that you can study abroad. And to study abroad, you have to have that nature where you can adapt to anything. If you can't adapt, and if you keep cribbing about, oh, this test should have been offline, but now it's online, then I think you should just, reconsider the whole thing then. How do you get so many connections on LinkedIn? Like if someone isn't having that much connection, then how will one's client will get discovered on LinkedIn? How will you grow then? Harsh, I already answered your question that if you want to grow on LinkedIn, start engaging with other people to get value. Jose is on the live. That's so nice of you. Hi Jose, thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. I've been following you on Twitter for so long, so thanks for joining. What's the cost of your ebook? And my ebook is priced at ₹800, which is approximately $10. So yeah, I think that's it. Also, my new ebook is also going to come out soon. I'm still working on it. Things have changed a lot in the past few weeks. I thought I would be done, but then I ended up writing a new ebook for a client last week. So things have changed. But yes, my second ebook is all about prospecting, communicating with clients, closing deals, negotiating. Everything's included in there. A lot of information, so I'm really excited about getting it out there. How do you change the writing style for every person you write for on LinkedIn so that it is personalized for the person? Megha, you have to speak to them, understand their voice, understand their tone, understand their nature of speaking, and then use that. So you can have one discovery call, understand all that, and then write accordingly. What was your pricing at the start of your career and at present? I can just tell you that one of my first articles that I had written as a freelance writer was for $75 for a 400-word article. So $75 for a 400-word article. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left, or I think 7 minutes because I joined in late. So 5 to 7 minutes, so I'm going to rush through the questions. Hey, which country in Europe is good for digital marketing course in budget? See, any European country is expensive. If not in course, then the living is super expensive. So, I mean, it depends on which, but if you're looking at, say, UK, Ireland, Spain, then these are very expensive countries for living. So do consider that. How to improve writing skill? Pallavi, please check out my post. It's one of the recent posts on my Instagram page. Please check that out because it has tips on how to improve writing skill. Now I'm just kind of rushing through things, so I'm going to recommend things like this. Okay, Violet Vogue, I've already answered what has been my most interesting project. That is the ebook that I wrote last week for my client. Jamanpreet Kaur, what is your biggest life lesson? Good question. Let me think about this one. What is my biggest life lesson? I think that one of the biggest life lesson is that just, you know, as much as possible, like even if you are doing the best you can, even if you are doing everything you want, everything you should ideally, it does not mean that everything is going to work for you. So just probably not being entitled and working on not being entitled is one of the main lessons I have learned in the past few years. What should we say when we don't have much info on topic they ask? Shruti, yes, you're right. You should say that you will get back to them. That's absolutely fine. Should I start doing live on Instagram? If you want to, sure. Can you please help me to choose country for digital marketing course in Europe? I cannot. I do have an article on my website and on my LinkedIn, which is about how I decided to study abroad. So it has the entire process. Please go through that. But other than that, I cannot advise you on anything because mainly finances are super important. Krish is saying, I admire your patience, Shreya. Thank you. I've just extended my personal branding strategy to Instagram from LinkedIn. Does Instagram work if you don't push out video-based content too? I'm not sure, Krish. I haven't really focused on what's working, what's not. I like to do these lives. That's why I do them. I like to create reels. That's why I do them. I like to make those carousels. That's why I do them. So I'm not sure about what works best. I just do what I love, and I would recommend you do that as well. Okay. Did you learn any complementary skills apart from writing? Are they necessary? That one dish. Okay. Yes, I did not exclusively learn them, but yes, having skills, having a combination of skills, having stacked skills is super important. When it comes to writing, like I do know a little bit about graphic design. I do know a little bit about video editing. I have a fair enough idea. I have a sense of them so that when I work with people, I can communicate effectively. But I do not do that myself because there are certain skills which if you can hire, then you should do it. But then there are certain skills that I need to have myself, which include things like communication, selling, prospecting, persuasion, convincing people. All of those things are something that I need to have personally, and I work on those. Very essential skills. Okay, hi Shreya, I want to write a book, but I have read many books on politics and as well as biography of many Indians, so that instances come again. How to avoid that and make my book completely fresh? Look at it from your perspective. Try to make it personal as much as possible. Maybe something that shows the chain of thought while writing the book. I hope that will help. I'm really not sure because this is going to be a factual book, but you could take a personal angle at it. Make it some sort of a thriller or something. What is the basic thing just to make a strong personal brand? Create what you love. How do you plan your content? I do not plan my content. I just keep doing what I what I think of. Arjun is asking, how did you become a freelancer? One of my first posts on LinkedIn went viral. I got a few leads. I got some clients from that, and that's how I started freelancing. How to prepare a contract, Nidhi? I have a full long IGTV about contracts. Please check that out. Girling my way. I'm really good at writing and research, but Facebook doesn't seem to work for me. How can I find clients that pay? You have identified the problem. Facebook does not work for you. Then why are you spending time there? If it does not work for you, move on. Find something that works. Try LinkedIn, try Instagram, try Twitter, try and Pinterest, try anything else that you think would work. What are your thoughts on plagiarism? Plagiarism, there is no excuse for plagiarism. If you have done it, please sort it out. Do not make that mistake. Priyal is asking, can I go over the process of writing web content? I'm sorry, but right now I have 2 minutes. So I'm just trying to answer as many rapid questions as possible. Okay, you are awesome. Thank you. Top social media channels to grow my blog. Medium is good, but promotion, cross promotion, very important. How to get long-term clients? Ushma, by speaking to them, by qualifying them whether they are looking for long-term engagement, and try to keep qualifying people as per that and accordingly work with them. Do you even manage social media? Yes, Kaushal, I do. You can message me for that. How do you get over laziness or procrastination? By setting a routine, because, well, I have to get things done. Rashi is asking, can you advise me how to deal with people who don't really appreciate anything you do? Avoid them as much as possible. At times these can even be people who are close to you, but still, as much as possible, avoid them and do not pay heed to what they say. How to manage time and also the work health issues. Routine. Set a routine. Ushma. What must I post on Instagram? Anything you want. How to get your first client. Please check out my IGTV about how to get clients on LinkedIn. This is so fast. Okay. If I do most of the things currently, how long should it take to get my first client on LinkedIn? See, I got my first client from my first post. I've seen other people who've received their first client from the first post. So you could get one today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 1 month later. Completely, luck has an important role. Just start doing your thing. Where are you from in India? I'm from Mumbai. How can I do my work without comparing? Just stop comparing. How to stop feeling intimidated by everyone's content on LinkedIn? Intimidation is normal. Just accept that you have it and then consciously make an effort to not fall into it. I feel more positive and peaceful in this Q&A. Thank you. I'm very stressed out right now, trying to answer as much as possible. How much time have you taken to publish your ebook? I think I released my first ebook in about, say, 4 weeks or 6 weeks of writing. After getting up, make your bed will be the first step to be more consistent. Yes, that helps. Okay. I have 1 minute 52 seconds left. Okay. Priyal, you've asked about process of writing web content. As I said, that's a long answer, so I do not. Okay, let me just go through it quickly. Writing web content, first I just clarify what web pages are needed. I make a list. I write bullet points for each. I send them to the client for review. They get back with some more information. I then write it. I send it for another review. They get back. They give feedback. They get back. I edit it and I send the final one. That's how it works. Okay. How can I get confidence to post consistently? You don't have a choice. You either you want to do it, you do it. You don't want to do it, you don't do it. You don't need big words like confidence and the skill and the time and the patience. You just need to get things done. Okay. How to land high ticket clients? One of the main things is to start saying no to low ticket clients so that you have space and something that pushes you towards getting high ticket clients. And second thing is to qualify clients right at the outset. So as soon as they approach you, qualify whether they're high ticket or not. If they're not, and if you do not want to work with them, tell them no and save all that time and go and find someone high ticket. Okay, 30 seconds left. Okay. Too many questions. If not a content writer, what would you have pursued? I would have become a doctor probably, because that's what I wanted to be. So that's it, guys. 15 seconds left. So thank you so much for joining today's live. This was amazing. There were so many questions. There are still 22 questions in the question tab, and I'm sorry that I couldn't get through all of it. You can DM me. Check out my ebook, link in the bio. I'll be back with some more things regularly. Thank you so much.